When Pamela Alcántara's family couldn't reach her, they feared the worst. But nothing could have prepared them for the horrific discovery made just days later. A discarded suitcase near a busy parkway, holding the answer to their deepest fears. This case has left a community shaken and a family shattered. And the person they believe is responsible? Someone who claimed to love her. I'm Sleuthy Lucy, and this is Under Investigation, where we highlight active and ongoing cases still developing in the news. Here's what we've uncovered so far. On March 6, 2025, the body of 26-year-old Pamela Alcántara was discovered inside a red suitcase near a marshy area by the Saw Mill River Parkway on the border of Yonkers and the Bronx. The suitcase was partially buried in mud, its presence alarming enough to prompt a law enforcement response around 9:50 a.m. that morning. Traffic along the parkway slowed to a crawl as drivers strained their necks to see what was happening. The flashing lights of police cars, the commotion of officers combing the area, and the air of grim curiosity from passers-by painted a haunting picture. It was the kind of scene that leaves a lasting chill. When officers unzipped the suitcase, they found Pamela's body showing signs of violence. Bruising was evident on her neck, arms, and head. It was later determined that the cause of death was homicidal asphyxiation. This wasn't just a tragic accident. It was murder.
Law enforcement sources say a missing woman from the Bronx has been found dead in Yonkers. 26-year-old Pamela Alcántara was reported missing on Sunday. Her body discovered near the Palmer Road exit off the northbound side of the Saw Mill River Parkway. This is in Westchester County. Sources telling us her body was found inside a suitcase.
But I do want to bring to your attention that this is a search that began through these doors right here behind me at 2200 Morris Avenue just nearly 4 days ago.
We're all devastated because this should have not happened.
The last time family says they heard from Pamela was early Sunday morning. Her mother, Sunilda, says they were on FaceTime talking about a church event she was supposed to attend later that day, but never did. That's when family says they began to worry.
Pamela had been reported missing on Sunday, March 2nd, after she failed to attend a church event in Connecticut. Her family had been desperately trying to reach her. Their calls went unanswered, and when they checked her apartment, it was eerily quiet. Now, Pamela wasn't just anyone. She was well known for her dedication to serving others. As a chaplain involved with the Latin American Chaplain Association, she worked tirelessly to support the homeless, comfort the sick, and even provide help to battered women. Friends and family describe her as compassionate, selfless, and devoted to making the world a better place. Her kindness and strength were undeniable, but so was the danger she found herself in, because behind her warm and giving nature was a private struggle that no one fully understood. Pamela had recently ended a 3-year relationship with a man named Junior Perez Diaz. And here's where things start to get disturbing. Perez Diaz was 46 years old, 20 years older than Pamela, and according to her family, he was controlling to the point of obsession. They claim he placed recording devices in her car and bedroom to track her every move. This wasn't love. It was surveillance.
She was supposed to move, and I think he found out. He used to put a recorder on the car and recorder on the bedroom so he can know everything what happened. What is she doing?
Mom, pray for me. She said that to her on last Thursday. She said, Mom, I just want you to pray for me. And that was all.
Pamela had been trying to break free from the relationship. She had already arranged for a new apartment and a vehicle to help her leave. But when she told Perez that she was leaving, he threatened to take his own life if she walked away. Her mother later stated that Pamela was manipulated by these threats, trying to escape a situation she couldn't completely break free from.
My daughter was manipulated. He would tell her if she left, he would take his life. But he didn't take his life. He took the life of my daughter.
Just days before her disappearance, Pamela made a chilling statement to her mother. On February 27th, she told her, "Mom, pray for me." Her mother would later recall those words with a deep sense of unease. When Pamela's mother couldn't reach her, she immediately boarded a flight from the Dominican Republic to New York. By the time she arrived, Pamela was already gone. When Pamela's family entered her apartment, the sense of unease only grew. They noticed signs that something was terribly wrong. Items were out of place, and blankets were disturbed, as if someone had been in a struggle. To them, the apartment told a story of violence and desperation. All of it only added to their suspicions that Perez Diaz was involved. They immediately relayed their findings to law enforcement, determined to get answers. The investigation quickly pointed to Perez Diaz. Surveillance footage showed Pamela entering her apartment in the early morning hours of March 2nd, just after midnight, but not leaving. Investigators believe Perez confined Pamela in their shared apartment for nearly 15 hours before allegedly moving her body, stuffing it into the suitcase, and abandoning it near the parkway. His vehicle was detected by a license plate reader near the disposal site, which only further confirmed investigators' suspicions.
Tonight, the ex-boyfriend of the woman dead in a suitcase has been arrested and charged with her murder. Alicia Reed has the latest from the Fordham Heights section of the Bronx, where that community came together to remember the victim.
News of the arrest came down as the community was gathered here on Morris Avenue to honor 26-year-old Pamela Alcántara.
Our prayers have been answered.
The crowd cheered at the news, but the reality of the situation quickly sunk in as her mother said her daughter will never come back.
On March 7th, Junior Perez Diaz was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter, and 2 counts of kidnapping. In court, the prosecution laid out a horrifying series of events, bruises covering Pamela's neck, arms, and head, confirming she died by homicidal asphyxiation.
Eso es lo que tú eres, un perro, un animal, un monstruo. Que solo Dios y yo sabemos, maldito monstruo. Monstruo.
They called him a monster, the devil, and a dog. The emotional scene Friday night outside the 4-6 precinct in the Bronx as Junior Perez Diaz was charged with the kidnapping and murder of his ex-girlfriend.
Justicia para Pamela! Justicia para Pamela! Justicia para Pamela! Justicia para Pamela!
Meanwhile, the cries for justice for Pamela Alcántara echoed just a few blocks away on Morris Avenue. The victim's family gathering for a prayer vigil outside the apartment building where she last lived with Perez Diaz.
Junior Perez was charged, and so our prayers have been answered. Our prayers have been answered.
And this morning, we're learning new details about the murder of a Bronx woman whose body was stuffed into a suitcase.
Junior Perez Diaz is now charged with kidnapping and murder of his ex-girlfriend. Medical examiners now say Pamela Alcántara died of homicidal asphyxiation. Detectives were back at the 26-year-old's home yesterday, combing for any shred of evidence related to her death.
Prosecutors say Perez Diaz stuffed her body into a red suitcase last Wednesday evening, then dumped her body along the Saw Mill River Parkway. She was found the next day. The 46-year-old suspect is due back in court today.
Pamela's death has sparked outrage and heartbreak within her community. Friends and family have spoken out about her kindness and generosity, but also about the control Perez had over her life. They are urging others to recognize the signs of abuse and to speak up before it's too late.
Ninguna madre sufra.
I don't want no mother to suffer what I'm living through today.
Her mother rushing to New York from the Dominican Republic, trying in vain to find her. Alcántara was last seen FaceTiming her while entering her elevator Sunday morning. But the devout Christian never made it to church. Sources say detectives asked Perez Diaz where Alcántara was, and he told them she left in her pajamas carrying a big red suitcase. They later discovered video showing him allegedly wheeling her body out of the building in that suitcase and into his car.
She was afraid to say, I'm getting hurt.
The victim's aunt believes Alcántara suffered in silence from her abuser, but was set to move out.
She never complaining about it. She was so quiet. She hid it inside.
Si no le ponemos un paro, ella no va a ser una, van a seguir haciendo más niñas.
If they don't put a stop to this, it's not only going to be my daughter that's going to die because of domestic violence, but many others will.
Law enforcement sources tell me that no domestic violence reports were ever filed by the victim. As for the suspect, he has 2 prior drug arrests, we are told, and is now awaiting his arraignment at court.
Pamela had made every effort to break free. She had an apartment lined up, a vehicle ready to help her leave, and the courage to walk away. But courage alone wasn't enough. Perez manipulated her with a chilling threat, claiming he would take his own life if she left. It was a tactic rooted in control and emotional blackmail. And as her mother later revealed, Pamela never spoke of the abuse. She carried her pain and fear in silence.
Was still living in the same apartment, but her family says she planned on moving out. They got her an apartment and a car. Alcántara's mother says she thinks her daughter didn't tell her the extent of her circumstances because she was still dealing with the loss of her other daughter.
Yo pedí a su hermanita hace un año.
I lost her sister 1 year and 4 months ago. She would say she didn't want to worry me because I was still grieving the loss of her sister.
She's now left with no children. Loved ones say all Alcántara wanted was to serve the community.
She used to go out to the hospitals. She was always in the community. She actually worked going to battered women's shelters.
As they released balloons into the sky, mourners tonight are raising awareness about domestic violence.
One threat is one too many. One, I'm gonna kill you. Even if he comes back and he smiles, he brings you flowers, one is too many.
The family and friends packed into the New Life Church here in Bedford Park all evening to honor the life of Pamela Alcántara. While they said their final goodbyes to the 26-year-old, their calls for justice continue to grow louder.
We all gonna remember Pamela. Pamela was a sweetie.
A hug provides comfort on a day filled with grief. Mourners dressed in black as they shared a communal prayer for Pamela Alcántara at the New Life Church in Bedford Park, a place where she served as a worship leader.
She was very involved. As a matter of fact, she was involved in helping other women in domestic violence, and she was involved in dealing with shelters, and she loved serving. She would spend 4 or 5 days at church every day.
These are the truths that linger in the wake of Pamela Alcántara's death, and they're the truths we must confront if we ever hope to make sense of what happened to her. Pamela's aunt shared her thoughts on how the family wants her to be remembered, not just as a victim, but as a loving, compassionate woman whose kindness left a lasting impact on everyone she encountered. Pamela dedicated her life to helping others, women who felt trapped, vulnerable, and unseen. And perhaps what we can take away from her story is a deeper understanding of just how complex and difficult these situations can be. No one chooses to be in an abusive relationship. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing the warning signs and empowering those who feel trapped to find a way out before it's too late. Even in her passing, Pamela's dedication to helping others continues to light a path for those in need. In the cases we have covered on this channel, we have found the same signs again and again, ones that seem to consistently connect most, if not all, of them. Extreme control, isolation from friends and family, financial control, constant criticism, or demoralization, and of course, violence. And if you are going through this, perhaps there is a message here for you. The first time you sense violence, that's enough of a warning. These are warnings that the situation is toxic. When leaving, rely on your friends, family, your inner circle, your personal community. Never negotiate with a terrorist. It never works out well. The safest way to leave is to leave in silence, without warning, and with a plan in place. What do you think about this case? Pamela was working to help others escape abuse, but couldn't escape her own. What does this tragedy tell us about the complexities of domestic violence? Let's continue the conversation down in the comments section below. As always, I'll meet you there. To Pamela's family and loved ones, may you find the peace and justice you deserve. For now, this case remains under investigation until truth and justice prevail. And to Pamela Alcántara, may you rest in eternal peace. Until next time, stay safe.